Happy Wednesday. We're actually going to start down on the floor today. So we're going to start off with some cat-cow. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Okay, you're just going to slowly tilt your pelvis up and arch your back, and then look up to the sky. And then really slowly roll everything back up and try and make your belly hollow and push up into your spine. And then slowly arch your back again. So you can just keep doing this in your own time. Okay, nice and slow. The idea is that you want to try and feel every vertebrae move as you move between the cat and the cow. We'll do one more. Awesome. So the next one, we have done this one once before. It's scap push-ups. So you can do them from your knees or with your knees off the ground, whatever is better for you. So hands underneath your shoulders. And you're not going to bend your elbows. You're just going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and then push up. And squeeze your shoulder blades together and push up. Okay, so there's no bend in the elbow. We're just trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So on your back, it should feel kind of like your shoulder blades are doing this, and then you're pushing back up again. Okay, so we're going to try and do 10 of those. Like I said, you can go down to your knees if you want to, but arms are staying straight for this. And try and keep your head still too. The temptation is to kind of push your neck forwards. Awesome. And then the last one of our little warm-up, we have done this one before, is, what are they called? Prone flies, I think. Okay, so you're going to be on your belly, arms in front of you. I feel like you can't see. Okay, so on your belly, arms in front of you. Okay, and then you're going to swing your arms round to the side and then touch them at the back behind you and then float them back in front again. If you want to, you can add a flutter kick as well. So it would look like this. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of those. Yeah, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can add the flutter kick. So legs nice and straight, toes pointed. Okay, so when you're ready. Good. Awesome. Okay, so when you've done 10 of those, we're going to do one more round of that cycle. So we're going to start off with some cat-cow again. Okay, so arching your back and looking up to the ceiling. And then slowly rolling everything up, pushing your tummy up into your back. Okay, we'll do one more cycle of the cat-cow. Okay, then back to our scat push-ups. So, like I said, no elbow bend. Okay, just push your shoulder, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then push up. Good. And then back to our flies with or without your feather kicks. Make sure you're looking down at the ground, and when you do this one, don't lift your head and cause stress on your neck. Okay, so looking down to the ground, start with your arms in front of you, then come behind and touch, and then back to the front. Awesome. You can just sit back in child's pose for a couple seconds and stretch that out. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna get going with our band. So we're staying at our 1 minute on, 30 seconds of rest. Okay, but what I thought we would just start off quickly is just working on that front part of the stroke, getting that bend. Okay, so we're not gonna start our intervals yet. We're just gonna practice the first part of our stroke. So we're actually gonna start with our arms straight at this time. Okay, and we're just gonna bend. Okay, and then come back. So you don't need lots of tension. It shouldn't feel like lots of tension, but the band shouldn't be slack either when you're reached out in front. So back nice and flat, okay, and you're just gonna bend, get the elbows nice and high, okay, and then come back in front of you. Bend, get the elbows nice and high. So try not to pull the elbows back, okay, the elbows are not moving, okay, we're just, they're not moving as in they're not traveling backwards, okay, we're just bending, okay, and then back to the front. Bend, back to the front. So basically we're popping our elbows up to the ceiling, okay, and then the top of your arm, there should be a bit of internal rotation. I'll just demonstrate at the camera. Okay, so as the, I don't know if you can see. So as we're bending here, so the elbow's pointing up, and then my top of my arm here has rotated inwards a little bit. Okay, but my palm is staying flat. It's awkward. it can be super hard. And so you can see at the side on this side. Okay, so elbow pointing up, palm nice and flat. Okay, and then the top of my arm here has rotated inwards. Okay. Okay, so we'll just try a couple more of those. Jazzy, hopefully you can see if everyone's kind of getting it. The people I can see on my camera, yep, are doing it pretty good. So, okay, so
yep, I have a pretty good view of everybody here. So, yep, I'll have a look.
Okay, so just starting with your arms straight this time, And we're just bending so the elbow isn't moving backwards at all. Okay, and then out in front. Okay. Okay, so if we take that into what we do when we're doing our bend, so I start in that position, in that bent elbow position, okay, and then follow through. Okay, so start in the bent elbow position and then follow through. Okay, and Jazzy taught last time, now that we've been doing these for a while, if you can get a little bit of acceleration as you come through, and then relax your arms back up. Accelerate, okay, relax. Accelerate, relax, okay? If you can add that, then that's awesome. You might not be able to add it every time, but see if you can just get a few where you feel like you're accelerating a little bit more, okay? So I'm gonna start our little set. Okay, so first round of 1 minute in 3, 2, 1, go.
Megan, try and finish with your elbows closer down to your hips rather than lifting them up. So yeah, that's a bit better. Yep. Yeah, that was not the right way. Nope, the other way.
And rest.
Nope. So yeah, you're
Sorry, just unmuted myself.
that's okay. The rather than the elbow coming up and around, just push it straight back towards your hip.
Okay. Like that?
That's a bit better. Okay. That's
Don't-
better, yeah.
Don't
Okay.
drop the
But it's
elbow.
got to start, elbow's got to start high and then just
And go.
push the hand down towards your hip. Have a quick look at Kylie when she does this. So don't worry
Okay.
about starting this set. Just have a look at Kylie right now.
I can't steer yet.
That's better, Megan. That's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And rest.
Yeah, so sometimes Megan, you're starting here and then the elbow's coming up. It's kind of doing a weird trajectory. It just needs to go here and push straight back. Yep, I shouldn't see any space between your elbow and your back. Like I shouldn't see a hole there.
2, 1, go.
That's better. Yep. That's better. That's better. Yep.
and rest. So yeah, you have to think, if you went here and up, you'd actually be pulling your arm like out the water in your pull phase. So you want to keep, imagine you're keeping your elbows and everything under the water, if that makes sense. Okay, round 4. 2, 1, go. And rest. Two, one, go. And rest. Good, that's halfway. Two, one, go. Rest.
Joanna, I don't know if it's possible for you to do it, but if you can be a little more bent over at the waist so your back is you're a little less upright, kind of more like you would be for swimming. And then the actual, like, the way your hands and arms are moving with that high elbow is looking really good. But if you can be a little bit more bent over, that'd be a little bit better.
Good, thanks, Daddy.
That's better. Yeah, that's better.
And rest.
And Lindsay, the only thing I'd say with you, like the start of that is like awesome. Like your hand's in such a great position. When you finish, just you want to almost like push the heel of the hand back. So rather than keeping the paddle like kind of at the end, you're sort of your palms facing up. You want it to face the back wall. So just do a couple really slow ones where you try and get that. Sorry, you're going. But the start is like awesome. That your position is just great. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that's better. Way better. Yeah, way better. So when you finish your stroke in the water, like you always want to be pushing water in the reverse direction of where you want to go. So if you're pushing it to the back wall of the pool, you'll go forward. If you're pushing it up, that's not really helpful. Yeah, that's good. That's great.
And rest. Yeah, actually, that was one of the things I found tough the first time, was pushing that wrist back. It made like a net, but now it makes sense and it feels good. But it was a little awkward to start with, for sure. Okay, 2 more rounds, guys. It's good. 2, 1, go. And rest. Good, 1 more round. Two, 1, go. And rest. Okay, good guys. Awesome. Okay, so we can just do a few monkey swings to flush that out.
Mommy,
Yes.
can I have 2 eggs after learning games?
We'll see. We'll see how good you do. And see how good you do in gym class. Get away.
Did you like that?
Okay, we're going to finish off with a flutter kick to batter. Okay, so to batter is 8 rounds of 20 seconds hard, 10 seconds rest. Okay, so these flutter kicks, we want to go hard for the 20 seconds. Okay, so remember you can have your hands under your butt if you want to. Point your toes, legs nice and straight. Okay, and we're trying to go fast for 20 seconds. Okay, so 8 rounds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Rest. Ready, go.
Mommy, is this the last? Mommy, after this exercise, are you guys getting done?
Yep.
Okay.
Rest. Ready, go. Rest. Ready, go. Rest. That's halfway. 4 more rounds. Ready, go. Rest. Ready, go. Rest. Good. 2 more rounds. Ready, go.
Mommy.
Yeah.
I really want to go back to jiu-jitsu.
I know about that. Oh, pretty soon.
And I really want to go back to school.
I know. Rest. Good. 1 more round. Ready, go. and rest and done. Good job, guys. All right, nice work today. Everyone good?
Yeah, good job, everybody. That's looking way better. Every time it looks a little bit better. Good.
Yeah, it's just getting into a rhythm with it.
I never thought I'd say I miss the pool so much.
Yep.
I know, right? I miss it. Yeah, Lindsay?
Just about the mechanics. So
Yeah.
I'm finding at the back of my stroke, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or maybe hunching too much, but my trap is really coming on and it's making my neck super tight.
So Bubba, off me a second. So when you come forward, okay, the temptation is to lift the shoulder, hunch the shoulder. Okay, so you got to be able to come forward, but keep the shoulder blade set on the back here,
Right.
and the neck nice and long, and then use the lat to pull through here. So the shoulder should never be up here. You should always have a nice long neck here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you might even the tension might be too high, which is why you feel like you might be coming forward too much.
Yeah.
So if you can stand a bit closer and take a bit of the tension off. But when you get into this position here, the shoulder blade should be set down on the back and not lifted up.
Okay.
Okay, so just try and take it a bit slower. And like I said, yeah, get less tension if you can, and just see if you can keep the shoulder. And the same when we're swimming, right? When we get tired, often we start, out the way, bub. Out the way, please. When we get tired, we start hunching the shoulders, but we always want to try and keep the neck nice and long, okay?
Okay.
Try that and see if that
I think
feels better.
my cords are pretty heavy too.
Yeah, so I'm just using a medium resistance one. So it just said medium resistance on it, so it's not.
Yeah. I bought these back
one?
in the fall, and they're
Yeah, they look pretty strong.
Yeah.
So
I've just been trying to go slow.
Yeah, just go slow and maybe just stand closer to wherever you tied them to and see if that helps.
Cool. I'll give that a try. Thank you.
Anyone else? All good?
Kylie's like, please let me go.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
No, I don't care. This is just
Thank
the start of
you.
the day.
Thank
3 or 4 o'clock.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Kai.
Bye,
Have a
Milo.
good day.
You too. See you later.
Bye. Bye.